Alright, Falkirk is done. The Scots took a brutal amount of abuse from bow fire. However, it looks like I've been disgraced. English losses are ridiculously high. Why? Well, testing out those archers is definitely an issue. So, as far as I can see it, the way to play this, and I thought I was being too wussy by like attacking, waiting for the infantry to come up, is not at all historically, but rather to not even advance the pike particularly, because the British pike are going to get shot up. Just use your cav to protect your flanks from any possible cav attack by the Scots, and pretty much advance with archers only. I also kind of didn't advance to one hex with my archers. As far as I can tell, you can do it in this scenario because the Scots can't come out of the Shiltron, but it feels so funny to be next to somebody shooting them without them reacting that it disturbed me quite a bit. But apparently that's actually part of the game and I should be using it. Anyway, it was more fun than I expected. It's not something that I would really recommend as a good two-player game, but it is a nice way to play with the system a little bit and get a feel for things. So I'm not too unhappy that they included it. It would definitely be a good intro scenario if you're showing somebody the system, especially if they're, yeah, I mean, there's weirdnesses to the system, which is the point. What are those weirdnesses? I ought to probably go over them at some point. The biggest weirdness is determining who plays next. Whoever's turn it is right now picks a leader that didn't just go, rolls a die, and if they get under the command rating for the leader, or activation rating, which is the top number, 5 is actually very good. Most of the leaders have 4s. And under when they get injured. So I'd say there's pretty much a 50-50 chance of the turn just flipping to the other player. If the other player gets the turn, he gets to pick whatever unit he wants, including one with a horrible leader, to move. He can also pick a flag, which allows him to rally the units that are near the flag. I didn't do that in the game because there's just no point in this one. There's also the possibility in a real scenario to seize an initiative before somebody rolls it. And what you do there is you say, no, I want the initiative, and you grab the die, and you roll it for your leader, and if you get it, you get it, but if you don't, the other guy gets the bonus activation where he doesn't have to actually roll a die. He can just pick anything, including a flag. That couldn't happen here. Let's see. Combat itself is kind of funky too. The attacker, the attacker basically can add more units to a combat, and that just adds a die roll modifier to the combat. However, if he attacks multiple defending units, he has to roll against each one separately. And he must attack everyone in his front when he attacks anyone, unless somebody else is attacking. So, I haven't really seen much of that, so I can't speak too much about how that's going to flow out, but it's an interesting looking system. With bowfire, the longbows have an incredible advantage, which is if you shoot them, they can shoot you back. Which means, and crossbows don't have this. I don't know if slingers do. That's in a much later scenario, but basically, it means you don't really want to target bowmen with fire if you can help it, for the most part. Huge advantage to having a big unit like the Scots did. Big disadvantage to having one that can't move. But having something that large, it's just like in the musket and pike series. Having a really large unit means you can do everything with one of your, with one activation. It wouldn't actually work here normally because you need 2 different units, or else you run out of, you can't roll, you can't pick something to do. So, all right, that's about it for this one. We'll move on. We're going to skip Courtrai because my counter clipping efforts aren't caught up to that, and go right to Bannockburn, and then we'll go back to the ones with the front jump.